Welcome to our look back at Sanford and Son, the groundbreaking sitcom that redefined television comedy. Created by Norman Lear and adapted from the British series Steptoe and Son, the show followed the hilarious and often heartfelt relationship between junk dealer Fred Sanford and his patient yet exasperated son Lamont. With unforgettable characters, sharp wit, and cultural impact, Sanford and Son became a fan favorite, making Red Fox and Demond Wilson household names. But what happened to the incredible cast after the show ended? Who continued their careers in Hollywood, and who, sadly, is no longer with us? Join us as we take a deep dive into the cast of Sanford and Son, exploring their lives, careers, and where they are now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Red Fox born John Elroy Sanford on December 9, 1922, in St. Louis, Missouri. Red Fox grew up in Chicago's South Side. Raised by his mother and grandmother, young John Sanford developed a sharp sense of humor early in life. He dropped out of high school and pursued a career in entertainment, eventually becoming a stand-up comedian known for his raunchy, boundary-pushing humor. In the 1940s and 50s, Foxx worked in comedy clubs and on the famous Chitlin circuit, where black entertainers performed in segregated venues. His big break came when he recorded a series of party albums, comedy records filled with explicit jokes that became wildly popular among African-American audiences. Foxx's ability to blend storytelling with punchlines made him one of the most unique comedians of his time. By the 1960s, he was headlining shows in Las Vegas and had earned the nickname the King of the Party Records. In 1972, NBC took a risk by adapting the British sitcom Steptoe and Son into an American version. Foxx was cast as Fred G. Sanford, a cantankerous but lovable junk dealer in Los Angeles. He named the character after his real-life brother, and many of Fred Sanford's mannerisms were inspired by Foxx's own family members. The show was an instant success, making Foxx one of the first black comedians to headline a primetime sitcom. His portrayal of Fred Sanford was groundbreaking, bold, hilarious, and unapologetically authentic. His comedic timing, signature catchphrases like, "You big dummy," and fake heart attacks became legendary. Foxx's ability to blend physical comedy with sharp one-liners made Sanford and Son one of the most watched shows of the 1970s. Despite the show's success, Foxx had issues with NBC over salary disputes. He walked away from the show in its 6th season, leading to its eventual cancellation. After Sanford and Son, Foxx attempted several TV comebacks, including The Red Fox Show and Sanford, a continuation of the original show without Wilson, but neither had the same success. Although Foxx made millions during his career, he struggled with finances due to bad investments and lavish spending. By the late 1980s, he owed significant amounts to the IRS, which seized many of his assets. Despite financial troubles, Foxx remained a sought-after performer. In 1989, he made a major return to TV with The Royal Family, a sitcom co-starring Della Reese. The show had potential to be a hit, but tragedy struck before it could fully take off. On October 11, 1991, during a rehearsal for The Royal Family, Foxx suffered a massive heart attack on set. Ironically, many crew members thought he was joking, as his character Fred Sanford frequently faked heart attacks on Sanford and Son. Sadly, this time it was real. Foxx passed away at the age of 68. His death shocked the entertainment world, but his legacy as one of the greatest comedians of all time lives on. He paved the way for countless black comedians and sitcom stars, proving that raw, unfiltered humor could resonate with audiences of all backgrounds. Red Fox remains one of comedy's most influential figures. His work in stand-up and television helped break racial barriers and redefine comedy. Even today, Sanford and Son continues to entertain new generations, and Foxx's comedic genius is celebrated in TV specials, documentaries, and comedy halls of fame. Whitman Mayo. Whitman Blount Mayo was born on November 15, 1930 in New York City, but he grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. His early years were marked by a strong academic and theatrical interest, which led him to study at Clark Atlanta University. However, before fully committing to acting, Mayo had an unconventional journey. He served in the U.S. Army for a few years and later worked various jobs, including as a counselor for at-risk youth and even as a probation officer. Mayo's acting career began relatively late compared to many Hollywood stars. He was already in his 40s when he started gaining recognition, performing in small theater productions and minor film roles. Despite the late start, his natural comedic timing and distinctive look helped him stand out. Whitman Mayo's big break came in 1973 when he was cast as Grady Wilson on Sanford and Son. Initially a minor recurring character, Grady was introduced as one of Fred Sanford's close friends, known for his slow, laid-back demeanor and signature phrase, "good goobly goop." Mayo's portrayal of Grady was so popular that when Red Foxx temporarily left Sanford and Son due to a contract dispute, Mayo stepped in as the lead, carrying the show for 6 episodes. His performance was so well received that NBC attempted a spin-off series, Grady, in 1970. The show followed Grady moving in with his daughter and her family in Westwood, Los Angeles. But unfortunately, it failed to capture the same magic as Sanford and Son and was canceled after 1 season. Even though Grady was short-lived, Mayo's character remained a fan favorite. He returned to Sanford and Son after the spin-off's cancellation and continued to be part of the show's legacy. After Sanford and Son ended in 1977, Mayo remained a familiar face in television. He made guest appearances on popular shows like Different Strokes, Martin, The Jeffersons, and ER. He also had a role in the 1990s comedy Boys and the Hood, demonstrating his ability to transition between comedy and drama. Outside of acting, Mayo had a passion for education. In the 1990s, he taught drama at Clark Atlanta University and actively mentored young actors. He remained humble about his Hollywood career, frequently saying that his true calling was teaching and helping others. Whitman Mayo passed away on May 22, 2001, at the age of 70 due to a heart attack. His death marked the loss of one of television's most beloved character actors. Despite playing a supporting role, his impact on Sanford and Son was undeniable, and Grady remains one of the most memorable characters in sitcom history. His signature expressions and humorous, carefree personality continue to bring laughter to audiences decades later. LaWanda Page. LaWanda Page was born Alberta Peel on October 19, 1920 in Cleveland, Ohio, but she was raised in St. Louis, Missouri. From a young age, she showed a strong inclination for performance, particularly in dancing and acting. She got her start as a dancer, performing in nightclubs under the stage name The Bronze Goddess of Fire, due to her fire-eating act, which became one of her signature performances. Before making it to television, Page was a successful stand-up comedian known for her raw and often raunchy humor. She performed in the Chitlin Circuit, a network of black nightclubs where legendary comedians like Red Foxx, Richard Pryor, and Moms Mabley honed their craft. For years, she worked as a comedian and actress in small roles, but her big break was yet to come. Page's life changed when her longtime friend Red Foxx insisted that she be cast as Aunt Esther Anderson on Sanford and Son. Aunt Esther was Fred Sanford's devoutly religious, no-nonsense sister-in-law who never hesitated to call him a heathen or hit him with her purse. Her sharp tongue, fiery temper, and Bible-quoting insults made her one of the most iconic characters on the show. Interestingly, LaWanda Page almost lost the role. Initially, her nervousness in auditions led the producers to consider replacing her. However, Red Foxx intervened and demanded that she stay, even threatening to walk off the show if she was fired. Thanks to his support, Page kept the role and quickly became one of the funniest and most beloved characters on the series. Page's chemistry with Foxx was electric. Their comedic back and forth, with Fred constantly insulting Esther's appearance and Aunt Esther firing back with biblical smackdowns, became a defining element of the show. She appeared in over 60 episodes, making Aunt Esther one of the most memorable sitcom characters of the 1970s. After Sanford and Son ended in 1977, Page reprised her role in several spin-offs, including Sanford Arms and Sanford, though these shows were short-lived. She also continued her stand-up comedy career, recording several comedy albums featuring her signature raunchy humor. Page remained active in television throughout the 80s and 90s, appearing in shows like 227, Amen, and Different Strokes. She even took on film roles, including a part in the 1990 comedy Friday, where she played a feisty church lady, a character reminiscent of Aunt Esther. LaWanda Page passed away on September 14, 2002, at the age of 81 due to complications from diabetes. Despite her passing, her legacy remains strong. Aunt Esther is still one of the most beloved characters in sitcom history, with her signature phrases and fiery attitude continuing to bring joy to audiences through reruns. Red Fox and LaWanda Page had a lifelong friendship, and their on-screen chemistry remains one of television's greatest comedic pairings. She proved that women in comedy could be just as sharp and hilarious as their male counterparts, paving the way for future generations of female comedians. Nathaniel Taylor. Nathaniel Taylor was born on March 31, 1938 in St. Louis, Missouri. Like many actors in the 1960s and 70s, Taylor had a humble beginning, working hard to break into Hollywood. He initially worked behind the scenes in television and film before getting his shot as an actor. Taylor's early roles were minor, but he quickly proved he had a natural talent for comedic timing. His first major break came when he was cast in Sanford and Son as Rollo Larson, a character that would define his career. Nathaniel Taylor played Rollo Larson, Lamont Sanford's street-smart best friend. Rollo was known for his flashy outfits, smooth-talking attitude, and laid-back personality. He often tried to influence Lamont into making risky decisions, which frequently put him at odds with Fred Sanford, who saw him as a bad influence. Rollo's interactions with Fred were some of the funniest moments in the series. Fred never missed an opportunity to call Rollo a thug or accuse him of trying to lead Lamont astray, despite Rollo often proving to be more responsible than Fred gave him credit for. The dynamic between Fred, Lamont, and Rollo created some of the most entertaining storylines in the show. Although Rollo wasn't a main character, he was a beloved part of the Sanford and Son universe. His cool, confident demeanor and stylish wardrobe made him stand out, and many fans saw him as one of the first representations of a cool black character on television. After Sanford and Son ended, Taylor reprised his role as Rollo in the short-lived spin-off Sanford Arms and Sanford. He continued acting throughout the 80s, appearing in shows like 227 and What's Happening, as well as in films like Willie Dynamite, where he played a more dramatic role. In addition to acting, Taylor eventually transitioned into working behind the scenes, including roles in production and stage management. While he remained connected to Hollywood, he lived a quieter life than some of his co-stars, choosing to focus on family and mentoring young actors. Nathaniel Taylor passed away on February 7, 2019, at the age of 80 due to a heart attack. His portrayal of Rollo remains one of the most iconic roles in sitcom history, and Sanford and Son fans still remember him as Lamont's smooth-talking, fun-loving best friend. Even though he wasn't the show's lead, Taylor's impact on Sanford and Son was undeniable. Rollo represented a different kind of black character on television, a young, stylish, and confident man who added a layer of depth and comedy to the series. Lynn Hamilton. Lynn Hamilton was born on April 25, 1930, in Yazoo City, Mississippi. She later moved to Chicago, where she pursued her passion for acting. She studied at the Goodman Theater and began her career in stage productions before transitioning to television and film. Before her breakthrough role on Sanford and Son, Hamilton had already established herself as a versatile actress. She appeared in several television series and films, taking on supporting roles that showcased her talent for both drama and comedy. Lynn Hamilton joined Sanford and Son in its third season as Donna Harris, Fred Sanford's kind-hearted and patient girlfriend. Unlike most of the characters in Fred's life, Donna was calm, reasonable, and genuinely cared for him, even when he was at his most stubborn and cranky. Her character was a stark contrast to Aunt Esther, who often clashed with Fred, while Donna offered him warmth and support. Despite Fred's frequent reluctance to commit to marriage, Donna remained an important part of his life, often serving as the voice of reason when Fred got himself into ridiculous situations. Fans loved Donna because she brought a different energy to the show. While Fred was often rude to her in his typical comedic fashion, she never let his antics get to her. She had a quiet strength that balanced out the chaos of the Sanford household, making her one of the most endearing characters in the series. After Sanford and Son, Hamilton continued working in television. She reprised her role in the spin-off Sanford, but also went on to star in shows like Good Times, The Waltons, 200 Swasin, and The Golden Girls. One of her most notable post-Sanford roles was as Verdie Grant Foster in The Waltons, where she played a proud and determined woman facing the challenges of racism and poverty. Hamilton's acting career spanned several decades, and she became one of the most respected Black actresses of her time. She frequently played motherly figures and strong women who brought warmth and wisdom to the screen. Lynn Hamilton is now retired from acting, but remains a beloved figure in classic television history. Her portrayal of Donna Harris was a groundbreaking role at the time, showcasing a strong Black woman who was independent, intelligent, and loving. Her work on Sanford and Son helped pave the way for more complex female characters in television, and fans continue to appreciate her performances through reruns of the show. Hal Williams was born on December 14, 1938 in Columbus, Ohio. Before becoming an actor, he worked various jobs, but his passion for performance led him to pursue a career in Hollywood. Williams started acting in the late 1960s, appearing in television shows and films in minor roles. His natural comedic timing and strong on-screen presence helped him land roles in popular series of the era. Hal Williams played Officer Smitty Smith on Sanford and Son, one of the two police officers frequently seen in the show. Alongside his partner, Officer Hoppy Hopkins, Smitty was a recurring character who often had to deal with Fred Sanford's antics. Unlike his overly polite and naive partner Hoppy, Smitty was more no-nonsense and direct. He often rolled his eyes at Hoppy's awkward attempts to relate to Black culture, and was usually the one who had to smooth things over between Fred and the police. Their dynamic created many hilarious moments, with Fred frequently mocking Hoppy while finding Smitty to be the more competent officer. Smitty's role in Sanford and Son was important because it reflected the racial and social dynamics of the time. As a Black police officer, he represented a different perspective from the typically all-white police forces seen on television in the 1960s. After Sanford and Son, Hal Williams continued his successful television career. He starred as Lester Jenkins in 227, a sitcom about a middle-class Black family in Washington, D.C. His role as the hard-working, wisecracking husband of Marla Gibbs's character made him a beloved TV dad of the 1980s. Williams also appeared in shows like Hill Street Blues, The Jeffersons, Magnum, P.I., T.J. Hooker, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In film, he had roles in Private Benjamin and Guess Who. Hal Williams has remained active in the entertainment industry for decades, appearing in various projects well into the 2010s. His ability to mix comedy with serious performances made him a respected figure in television history. His portrayal of Officer Smitty, alongside Howard Platt's Officer Hoppy, remains one of Sanford and Son's most memorable pairings, and his later work on 227 further cemented his status as a talented character actor. Demond Wilson was born on October 13, 1946 in Valdosta, Georgia, but grew up in New York City. From an early age, he was drawn to the performing arts, and his passion for entertainment was evident. As a child, Wilson trained in tap dance and ballet, even appearing on Broadway by the age of 4. However, before fully committing to acting, he briefly served in the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War, where he was wounded. His military service left a lasting impact on him, shaping his perspectives on life and spirituality. Upon returning to civilian life, Wilson pursued acting seriously, appearing in small TV roles and stage productions. He made early guest appearances on shows like Mission Impossible and All in the Family, but his big break came in 1972 when he was cast as Lamont Sanford in Sanford and Son. As Lamont Sanford, Wilson played the patient and responsible son of Fred Sanford, a junk dealer in Los Angeles. The show's dynamic was built on the hilarious father-son relationship, with Red Fox's character constantly faking heart attacks and calling out to his late wife, "I'm coming, Elizabeth." Meanwhile, Wilson's Lamont played the straight man, often exasperated but still devoted to his father. Wilson's chemistry with Foxx was undeniable. While Foxx was known for his improvisational skills and sharp wit, Wilson balanced the duo with his steadiness and charm. This contrast helped Sanford and Son become one of the most beloved sitcoms of the 1970s. The show tackled themes of race, family, and financial struggle, all while delivering brilliant comedy. Behind the scenes, Wilson and Foxx had a complicated relationship. While they respected each other as actors, tensions sometimes arose due to Foxx's unpredictability and contract disputes with NBC. Despite this, the two remained a legendary on-screen pair. When Sanford and Son ended in 1977, Wilson struggled to find another role as iconic as Lamont. He continued acting, appearing in TV shows like The Love Boat and The New Odd Couple, but nothing matched the success of his breakout role. In the 1980s, Wilson took a dramatic turn in his life. He became a minister and dedicated himself to Christian teachings. He left Hollywood and began preaching, eventually becoming a published author on faith-based topics. Over the years, Wilson occasionally returned to acting and interviews, reflecting on his time in Sanford and Son and his complicated relationship with fame. Though he distanced himself from Hollywood, he remains a respected figure in the entertainment industry. Wilson's portrayal of Lamont Sanford is still beloved by fans. His character represented a young black man trying to build a better life while respecting his family's past. While he chose a different path later in life, his work in Sanford and Son remains a key part of television history. Sanford and Son left an unforgettable mark on television history. Its sharp humor, social commentary, and incredible performances made it one of the most beloved sitcoms of all time. The talented cast brought these iconic characters to life, and while some have passed away, their legacy continues to inspire fans old and new. Which character was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other then and now features on classic TV shows. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.